Welcome back everybody to another video, and in this video, well, you already know what's going to happen, you've read the title, all that stuff, but anyways, yep, I'm doing the review of the Inductrix HD. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one, so let's get right on with the video. So we'll go ahead and start off with what you get inside the box. Seems like a pretty good place to start. First off, you get the quad, you get the remote, you get the goggles, you also get a battery and a battery charger to go with it, and you get some stinking instruction manuals. So I'm going to start off and get the boring stuff out of the way. And first up, we got the battery. It's a 500 milliamp 25C 1S battery. We've also got a charger. It's a USB charger. That's all there is to talk about that. And next we've got the remote. It's not bad, to tell you the truth. When I'm flying, I don't even notice it. So yeah, it's actually a pretty decent little remote. You've got actual joysticks instead of like little thumb stick things that you can't even get any resolution on. You've also got your trim buttons here. The trims don't do that much for actually trimming out the quad. It's also a rechargeable remote. It's got a rechargeable back. Put a little micro USB cord right into the bottom. On the back, you got your photo button. You got your mode button. First one is altitude. Second is angle, and the third one is a more exaggerated version of angle. You've also got your video button. You've also got your camera mount on top. It is removable. You can just unscrew this little screw and it pops right out. Yeah, it's actually a pretty decent little remote. And next we got the headset. This actually caught me by a little surprise. You guys gotta check this out. But this, keep watching, it pops out. And this pops out even more. So it actually makes it really great for traveling and stuff. And since this is all silicone, it makes it extremely comfortable. It's got some nice little padded straps and stuff. You've also got some eye adjustments here. You got a button right here, you push it, and it'll change the camera view on the phone to facing forwards so you can see where you're going. I would recommend not doing that because you kind of get motion sickness. But overall, it's actually a nice little headset. I was thoroughly impressed with this little guy. Alright, next is the Inductrix FPV HD. So let's go ahead and get some of those specs out of the way first. Let's talk about the motors. They are brushed motors, which is kind of disappointing. Brushless would have been nice, but keeps costs down. They're the same motors as the Inductrix FPV Plus. They are replaceable. They've got some little motor plugins down there, so they're really easy to replace. And then for the board, there's actually two separate boards inside of there. One is for the camera and the Wi-Fi signal, and the other is for the it's the actual flight control board. Moving from the board to the camera, the real-time footage you're going to be seeing on the phone is 720p 60 frames per second, and then it's going to be recording 1080p at 60 frames. So you actually get some pretty good resolution there. And you are going to get about 4 to 6 minutes at the most when flying this little machine. For recording HD, 1080 60 frames, that's actually pretty decent flight time. And also for the SD card, there's a little slot right in the back here by this little antenna thingy. It can support all the way up to a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. And when I first got this, it did not work really at all. I mean, it would fly for probably 10 seconds and then the picture would freeze, and then yeah, I'd just lose control and fly into a wall. The time it was working though, it worked really well. And I just kept flying it and flying it and flying it until it somehow magically worked. So I don't know what happened really, but if you're having the same problem, maybe just keep flying it. Maybe whip it a couple times. But yeah, it's kind of weird, but it works great now. And next I'm going to talk about the application of this little quad. To be completely honest, it's like right in between a Phantom and a Tiny Whip. That sounds really weird, but with those 3 different modes, you can kind of choose how you're going to fly. Yeah, it's definitely like right in between. Alright, so we're ready to fly. We got some beautiful weather, a little bit of wind, but we'll see how well this thing can fight it. So let's go ahead and get it set up and get to flying. So go ahead and turn on the remote first. Then you just want to plug it in. Now at first it will be a red light, and then when it's ready to connect up to the phone, then it'll flash green, as you can see right there. It's ready to connect up to the phone. You're just going to want to go into settings and then search for a Wi-Fi network. Wait for it to find it. Takes a little bit. There we are. Then we're going to connect up to the app. So as you can see, we've got our live feed. I like to take these bars out of the way because they're just frankly annoying. And I usually use this little circle. You can remove the HUD completely, but then you can't see your battery voltage, so I I guess let's go ahead and get flying. I already said that, I know. So, start recording. Aha. Something you may want to do frequently is reformat your card. Arm it, and then there we go. Now, like I said, there is some wind, so if you see some bobbling, that's because of that. And as you can see, it's completely flyable. Now, there are some times when you're flying that it'll just freeze and get stuck. So it's kind of unfortunate. And then other times it'll be, great. But if it does freeze, you just gotta reconnect it and then start flying again. So it is kind of a pain to when it does freeze, but it's working great. I mean, as you can see, the latency is not bad. I do notice though with the goggles on, those goggles they give you, it puts it into like a VR mode kind of, and then it seems like it'll freeze up more often if you use that, but it still works well. You're just more prone to freezing up. But I honestly like flying with the screen because you can look at the quad and go back to the screen and stuff. Let's try and get some altitude here. The range isn't really great either. So, I mean, there's definitely some downsides to this, but it's tons better than those, cheap little Wi-Fi quads, they usually see. But for 70 bucks, that's what I got mine for, this quad. Great deal. I've had so much fun with this. Let's see if we can do a high-speed pass. Oh. So I want to thank you guys for watching and checking out this video. Hopefully this review helped clear some things up about the Inductrix HD. I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out. Stay tuned for any videos coming up next. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.